Just wanted to show you this new server I've been playing. It's called D Island, and it's a player versus environment, but it really feels like player versus player. The problem is with the civilian clothes I'm wearing now. Other players are wearing the same civilian clothes, but so are the AI. Just heard gunshots there. I gotta be careful. So I found a boathouse here. Boathouse on the north side of the island. A building under construction here, which is really good to hide and fight out of. Private little place to fish where not too many people can see me. And I put a stash in down here, and there are sandbags that I can get to here for more stashes. So that's going to be my northern stash point right in here. It has a town I can get to also. So I plan on making a stash here so I can get, because I know I can get a fishing pole, I can get something to make a stash and fight from. I can walk down along the coast. One of the problems is I found a private fishing spot, and I just wanted to show you this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steelhead, 1,000 blood points apiece. Average. It may vary. Admin can raise or lower them per server, whatever blood count they want for each animal. Sometimes you get sheep, they're 400 blood points, sometimes they're 800 per piece. And then there's a one sea bass in here too. So I want to make a fire and save what I got, but you cannot do this while you are in the water. It's saying I'm way too close to the water, and I had to get rid of some of my gear. So I got to get up here and make a fire, cook this stuff. There's gunshots to the other side. So I got to find a safe place. So I like to get about, I don't want to start a fire just one fish. So I got to find a spot on the land that the game thinks is inland far enough for you to have a fire. There's gunshots over there. So what you got to do is just move inland a little bit and keep trying. And that's all it takes right there is to get about 20-25 feet in, and this is because of the changing tides. Right now it's dry. Tomorrow that could be underwater, or 12 hours. So on this animation I got to remind myself to look up, look around, and now I can put it out real quick. I should have let it burn just a little bit longer because I'm cold. So these gunshots are getting a little close here. It must be up there shooting, but if he comes over that hill, I gotta take him out. So I want to show you here real quick. My blood count is 8,200. So we'll eat the sea bass. That's at 96. That's 1,400 points right away. I believe it was 96.60. Wait a few seconds, come back in, 9,700, it's still going up. So that was what, 1650, 1700, something like that. Okay, there he is. I don't want to shoot this guy unless I have to. I don't understand it. They spawn in with an axe. You can go around this whole island and be silent as you want, but he's attracting an awful lot of attention up there from the aggro and zombies. which I don't know why they all decided to jump off the hill and commit suicide, but 2 of them did. Maybe 3. 4th one's still there. Running back up around to get his target. That was a very odd thing, but happens. So now we're at 97.81. So I just wanted to show you that real quick about how to make your choices in the game. I'm going to have to run the whole exterior of the island and put up some tents before I lose them, get killed. And that'll help me out later. See, I'm at 11,000 now. I had 3 pieces of fish, 4,000 blood points. So at 200 blood points per can of food, if you're eating canned food, whoop, more gunshots. 5 cans of food per 1,000. Forgot where my stash was. 5 times 4 for 4,000 is 20 cans of food I'd have to find and then eat. And that just exposes you way too much. Why take a chance? Just head down to the shore or any fresh water, even an inland lake. You don't have to run around and chase animals like the pig over there on the hillside, because I don't want to be over there where the gunfire is. And I built my stash up, but I had to keep count of everything in my stash as I was loading it in to make sure that I did not go over 20, because 20 is the size of the stash where it'll turn into a big stash. And I really don't want to here. It doesn't matter. But as long as you stay underneath 20, it'll remain the dirt pile. Once you go above 20, it'll turn into that big box, big square looking thing. And I don't really need a lot here. It's a couple morphine, a heat pack, an empty bag. I'm going to use that heat pack. I basically want the steelhead in here to raise my blood back up. Now another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this empty blood bag. I'm going to fish some more after restart. And I'm going to fill my own blood bags, which are going to deplete all your blood. But you can replace that blood with about half a dozen fish. So that's how you can get your own, fill your own blood bags in game, instead of having to try to depend on finding the right type, the right time, right place, and all that stuff. It just makes it a little bit easier. So I got a couple tents. I want to get rid of these things before I get killed. Yeah, before I get killed. This guy is just shooting like crazy up there. So I got a lot of the map to cover. We got about 10 minutes before restart. Now on the next, and I'm always looking, this is why there's no vehicles on here, but I love running a map. Nice little fishing spot down in here. You can't have your campfire, but I could fish here and no one would bother me. Nice little flat spot for a tent, but I really want to spread these stashes in the tent out by a good 1,000 meters apiece, if not more. Trying to get around this guy before restart. So there's another advantage to running the beach on even on the Cherno map. Oh, while the graphics are going a little crazy on me now on this gravel. So I'll build some big stashes, because the bigger stashes you can fit weapons in. On that one I have 20 item slots, no weapon slots. And I want the weapons for weapon slots for matches and fishing poles. Since I'm so close to that boat dock over there, every time I every restart I could grab another fishing pole if I wanted to. And so the shoreline is a good place to fight from down here. Running the shoreline, even on the Chernarus map, you can get below the eye level of AI and players. And you can cover a lot of ground real quickly, even if your head is just barely below it. So I have to check that island out later on too. I'm trying to look for a place for a tent, but all I have so far is camo tents, and they're going to stick out like a sore thumb. So as you can see, that first stash of 20, that wasn't in the best place. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's hidden. Kind of looks round like a rock, and I had to do something very quickly there. So now I'll back off and check the map here. That's a little too close to my other stashes. I would like to be down around this lighthouse, and I'm trying to, this is where your memory comes in. I spawned at the end of the road down here, I think on the beach right about here. So either here at the rocks, or there's a good sized woods up here which is dark. So this will be a good spot on the southern end right here. If I can zoom out a little bit. So this will be a good spot down here. So may I put 1 down here. 2, this is a really nice stretch of woods here. So about 1, 2, 3, and then maybe 4 and 5. So I'll see what happens after restart here. There are animals on that island over there. I just don't want to have to take a swim to get to my gear. That's the one of the lighthouses there. That can't be. That's, man, this is a tiny, tiny map. But it's a lot of fun. If you want some quick action, some play, and it's, like I said, it's like solving a puzzle. So I'm going to go now. Try not to run into any AI. But I'm going to go now because there's less than 5 minutes to restart. So I know that since it's so close to restart, everybody's going to start logging off now. So I'll check by hitting P. There's only 3 of us on here. So I might be able to cover some ground. I just hope there's no sniper in the tower here. I'm not even sure if you can get in that church. And then the rest, hopefully, will just be running cover to cover. Make sure that when my prone key is Z, I just want to make sure that when I hit Z, which is a little uncomfortable for me, I'm going to change that key here one of these days. I just want to make sure that I'm running from cover to cover. In case you have to go prone quick, should be 2 more of these guys inside here. Creepy priest. I don't think they have anything special on them. But anyway, I just run on these type servers with it in my mind that you have to jump for cover at a split second. And I don't need wipes here. So we got 2 minutes left. Getting the hell out of here too. Don't like the idea of spawning back in with those zombies right there. So anyway, that was just about it. I don't trust that people don't snipe from them islands too, out there in their safe, cozy little islands. So I'm just running down here below eyesight on most of this stuff. Oh, nice little hiding spot down here. Good place for a stash right here. So anyway, I just thought I'd clue you in on that and show you a little bit about this server here. D Island. It's pretty good. Fast player versus player action. Let's take a look at the bike. This is the bike that's in Dayz. It takes 2 tires. It comes up on the repair menu. It takes the body and 2 tires or 2 wheels. And this is one of mine. I already fixed it up. But there's only 3 parts on it. It's called the old bike. You can get in the old bike as driver. I'll turn the free look on here. Free look in your keyboard controls becomes very important. We're on the coastal highway now. I get a head up and I flew the helicopter over what I thought was a pickup truck, and I'll go check it out so I can have some more temporary transportation. But as you can see, the speed up top, we're going 46. Now if the tires were damaged, sometimes you'll only go maybe 5 kilometers per hour or 4. It seems like the gears aren't engaging and it's spinning real slow. Now we're up to 47. But if you hit the turbo key for the vehicle turbo key, it's in your keyboard, you can get it up to 50. And this is just an absolute joy and a treat if you've never done it. I gotta check the map real quick and see where the road splits right here. I want to take the northern road into Mista. This is just an absolute treat for me. I like riding a bike every once in a while. You do have to be a little careful. If you hit an animal, if an animal jumps out in front of you like a pig, it will damage the bike. Hitting zombies will damage the bike. And zombies will be able to knock you completely off the bike with a good punch. Looks like somebody built a little base down in there. Lots of new bases on this server. And thick enough around those trees like we were talking about earlier. He's into these old English oak trees, style trees. And he built it, and he went around at least 3. I think there's 4. But so thick that you couldn't land a helicopter in there if you tried without wrecking it. So I like looking at those bases. I don't mess with them, but I like looking at them because it shows off people's ingenuity, because they always try to outdo one another or come up with a new design. Lots of new bases on this server in quiet, out of the way places. So right now we're going uphill a little bit. We'll switch from the gravel road to this dirt road. And as you can see, it's just infinitely better than just walking or running. Like I say, you do have to be careful of what you run into, but other than that, you'd be okay. It's one of the few vehicles that actually goes pretty darn good off-road. Slows down a bit through the woods and where you have thick field grass. I think we can go off-road here because this winds around, but as you can see, we're still doing 24 kilometers an hour uphill. And I thought this road, yep, it does, wraps around up here to the right. So we just took a little shortcut there. And this color green helps hide it really well. I think you can eject off the bike, and that's how guys actually lay them down in the grass. You lay this down in a field, you may not find it for a while again, unless you lay it at an exact point and remember where you put it. And there's a little bit of a trick to standing them back up, but you can stand them back up. You actually almost have to get on the bike as a driver while it's laying down. It's a bit tricky. For the most part, I can do it. Sometimes when you knock them over like that and they're laying down, you just can't get back on them. So I have a bunch of car parts on me. I believe 3 tires, scrap metal, and fuel tank, and everything but an engine block. I couldn't carry that too. But I want to run up and do a mission, so I want to get a truck for it. I want to get this accomplished a lot quicker, so instead of running today. Kind of depends on my mood. Some days I feel like running, some days I feel like being in a helicopter, and other days you just can't beat a bicycle, especially on a sunny day. They're nice and quiet, and you can still hear the birds chirping around you. You can hear zombies aggroing and everything. There's usually only a few bicycles on each server. Each server originally started out with 90 vehicles, so 6 of those were helicopters. 6 were, I think 6 helicopters, 5 boats, 2 Urals, 2 Humvees, and then it breaks down from there. And there might have been 6 bikes. But on some servers, I noticed one of them I was playing, admin actually built some areas down south along the coast and put 6 bikes in every town. Almost like there was this public, he kind of created a public bike rack. It was nice. Now it doesn't seem that there are as many zombies on this server as there used to be. Oh. But they do hit harder than they used to too. They did break my leg this morning on the very first swipe. These are the English oaks I was telling you about, right here. Big wide tree, great canopy, nice and wide for a gunfight. So we are in the town of, I believe, Mista. I pronounce it Mista. We just ran across the island, swam over to the beach. I got my bike out, went up the highway, and then came here to Mista, Starry, and then you can sort of head diagonally up to the 2 missions up here. I don't know if I have time to make these missions, but if you're in this area right here, this is where the heli crashes are all at, the cargo drops. I need a few more tents, and I wouldn't mind going on a few more missions. Starry Sobor and Novi Sobor right here, and Vresnik Hill and Vybor Cabinino. These 4 right here. There's always a lot going on up there. So this is just a small town. There's only a few small towns on here that don't have a well, and this one happens to have a well. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check this for gear. Has room for 10 weapons, 50 items, 2 backpacks. The official name of it is Off-Road White. There's an Off-Road Red that has a red cap. And there's nothing in it. And I know that this is a vehicle spawn point. There's one here, and then there's one down off in the woods too. Just want to see if any of these guys are left. So I killed the one there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And 11, 11, 11. They never have any odd numbers, it seems, so I gotta find out what's going on, why there's only 11. Hopefully I miscounted. I think I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I just wanted to show you what gear they have on here. It's a G36 round, but he's got an AK. So I'm going to recombine that. You can switch your G36 to Stanag mags, which is what I'm using. Road flare. And this one has windshield screen glass, crowbar, and military flashlight. I just got a padlock off the one guy, one AI. So here's 3 more Stanag rounds, and here's a jerry can. Some food, and a broken pickaxe. So I'm just going to go through here so you can see it. This is on the server SVEA. I'm telling you what, he's smart and how he sets this up. Here's a blood testing kit on this guy. I got to practice what I preach here and have a little bit of self-care. I stopped up at the lake, did some fishing before I got here. And here's the peaches, MRE, a map. So you can see how each one is different. This one has an herb box, some mutton, matches. Yeah, I see you there, little buddy. So I must have miscounted, and there must be 12 AI here. But I couldn't get a count on them in the first place anyway. There we go. It has cleared the mission now. Very important you get that clear sign, and very important you practice it. Now, this bandit has an AK, which does not fit the ACOG, and has a box of screws, but the ACOG is what we all want. CCO scope, standing rounds. Here's 3 CZ 550 rounds on this one. So I'm not going to take them today. I'm pretty well loaded up now. Another herb box, another raw mutton. Like I said, we already... Oh, nope. Oh, I was quick enough. Now here's a cobra. Now the other AI had an ACOG 4. This AI's one disappeared on me. One of them had a scope for the AK, and the other one had a scope for the other guy, for the M4A1. So now we'll go in here and see what they got. Some ACOG, some G36s, Stanag I could use. Frag grenades. PDW, check backpack. Now this is interesting. 8 wooden logs. You can rest here, and these resting on these tents is where you get your fastest blood back. There's the CZ 550, SVD. Everything else looks pretty normal. I really don't even need or want this padlock, to tell you the truth. Here's a DMR. With a bunch of DMR rounds. And that's about the only thing I really want from this whole thing. But it's kind of tough because I haven't been on this server in a long time. So I really don't want the padlock or these. I gotta pick and choose. This can go back on my gun. I'm just gonna take what I need here and let the other guys know on the server that they can have anything they want. So I get rid of the planks. That's pretty common. Grenades I'll never use on here. See if I can get just enough to take the DMR, if I can find it. And actually that CZ is a nice gun because you can just zero that in. One, two, three, four, five. So anyway, I'm not going to bore you with the rest of this. I got everything I need. There's lots of good stuff here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to advertise it to the rest of the guys on the server and tell them that there's free loot here. The tent will probably despawn too. I don't know. I don't know how that works anymore, but just wanted to show you the different stuff that they can get creative. Here's a box of screws. So screws and mutton and padlock and just fuel cans and just all kinds of stuff. So we're going to map here. I'll erase my little marker there. Whoop. And as long as someone gets here, I don't think these guys are in too much of a hurry. But it's a shame to let this gear go, but I have no tent, nowhere to put it, anything like that. It's just going to respawn into the next mission, which is called Signal Lost. And I have no idea. I've never heard of that one before. So I don't know if that's a radio station or what. And now that I've cleared this mission out, as soon as it despawns, they'll start a new mission. So somebody sees that, and they're building on their base, and they decide that they would like to bring their truck over here and just load everything under the sun. That's fine by me. Take it all. But it's really nice to see on these missions. Sometimes on this server, SVEA, you can get in the missions that are right downtown Berenzino, right downtown Cherno. When they have missions like that, sometimes I've gone up to a box and it's been 4 engines are in that box, 7 rotors for helicopters, fishing pole, 4 padlocks, just some different stuff. And they have one mission, instead of having the regular missions, which are weapons trucks, stash house, medical mission. This one has construction supplies. So the guys that are all base building will run over there because that's what they're really after. They have all the guns under the sun that they need. That's not what they need anymore. They need about 7 axes, 7 pickaxes, 50 logs, 50 stone, you know, stuff like that cut. I've never completed one of those missions, so I don't know how good it is, but I'm sure from what I've experienced so far, the loot seems to be pretty good. So just as, it's just nice that they admins over here and are smart enough to mix things up because they know just as well as you do what you need. And there's no sense in somebody collecting, and it's easy to collect somebody playing around with camo nuts right there. I don't know if they're playing around with it. They have a base or something temporarily there that's been abandoned. Looks like they were playing around with it. They have like 1 entrance into there. But it's a neat little thing on what you can do with camo netting. Because if someone was in there, you'd be hard pressed to see where they're at. They could be staring right at me with a rifle. I'd never know it. But it's nice to see that they'll change things up and have different missions instead of the same old missions. And I hope that some of these guys that design these missions and upload them to where you can download the free mod, or the admin can and set it up for you, I hope they keep changing those things to something new and different all the time. I still to this day don't think, I've seen cargo drops down on the beach, but I have not seen trying to think here. I haven't seen a mission. They do have SEAL team missions right on the shore, but they don't have a mission out on the ocean yet. It's not letting me bring my fishing pole out now. No. Too much gear on me. I technically still got plenty of stuff left. So I'll see what's new. Maybe I'll look around for a helicopter today. So anyway, just wanted to show you something different with the loot. What can be done. Quick and easy mission for a weapons truck. And who knows, I may even run over that signal lost and look for a vehicle along the way, or a helicopter. So catch you next time.